Hey everybody, class is in session. This is your host Luis, and today we're going to take a look at the mono green Ginyu deck profile. Again, thank you guys so much for joining us today. We're going to take a look at this mono green variant of the Ginyu Force deck. If you don't want to hear me talk this whole video, you can skip to the end of the video. We're going to have just a picture of what the deck profile looks like, and you can take a look at that. But for those of you guys that don't know, we're going to take a look straight at the leader. The auto is the same on the front as it is on the back. When this card attacks, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a green Ginyu Force card with an energy cost of 2, you may play it. Then you can draw one card. This is good, and it's a little bit bad. Mostly, the reason why it's bad is just because it locks you to green Ginyu Force cards with an energy cost of 2. So you can't play any of your yellow or any of the green cards that are out there for Ginyu Force. It has to be green. His Awaken, when your life is at 4 or less, or you have 4 or more Ginyu Force cards in your battle area, you can draw 2 cards, flip this card over. So you don't have to wait till you're at 4 life. You can spam the board with a bunch of Ginyu Force cards and just flip them over. Now, I want to remind you that that does not include the leader. It only includes battle cards. Backside, auto, same thing. Swing, play, draw. Activate battle once per turn. You tap 1 green energy. Choose 1 green Ginyu Force card in your battle area, and it gets plus 10k power for the battle. We're going to try not to spend a whole lot of time on the deck profile. Sometimes videos can get a little bit extensive. But we're going to go ahead and jump straight into the core of the Ginyu Force cards that you can play off your leader's ability. First and foremost, we're going to look at the card that is from the expansion set. We're going to look at Ginyu Force, the Showstoppers. His permanent is really dope. This card gains Raccoon, Jace, Birder, and Goldo in all areas, so he counts as every single member of the Ginyu Force, and we'll explain why that's really good later on. His auto is 1 per turn. If your leader is a green Ginyu Force card and you have 2 or more energy, when this card attacks, or when this card's attack deals damage to an opponent or removes a marker from an opponent's Unison, play up to 1 green Ginyu Force card with an energy cost of 2 from your deck other than copies of this card, and then shuffle the deck. So you can swing with your leader and then reveal this card from the top of your deck, play him, draw a card, and then we can swing with this guy, and if your attack lands on a Unison or a leader card, you're able to play any of the other Ginyu Force members from the deck as long as their energy cost is 2. And it can't be himself. And we're going to take a look at some of these at the 4 members from the Ginyu Force that you actually play. First one is Goldo. I think he's one of the best ones, kind of runs the deck. The rest of the 4 have unique, which is the biggest difference between this card and all of the Showstoppers, because the Showstoppers do not have unique, but the rest of the members do have unique. Unique is just a new skill that means that you can only play 1 of each, and only 1 of them can be on the board at that time. His activate main, if your leader card is a Ginyu Force card and you discard this card from your hand, look at up to 3 cards from the top of your deck and place them on the top and or bottom of your deck in any order. It's really good for turn 1. A lot of times you may not end up using it. Activate main once per turn, look at the top 5 cards of your deck and place them on the top and or bottom of the deck in any order. Really good. A lot of the times you may not swing with this card because you want to keep him on board as much as you can so that you can get your leader skill off every single time that he swings. The next one we're going to take a look at here is Birder, fastest of the universe. Also has unique, but he has blocker. At the end of the turn, switch this card to active mode, then look at the top 3 cards of your deck and place them on top and or bottom of your deck in any order. The reason why this is really good is because it's a blocker that you can actually get value out of. So it's not just a blocker that stays on board, it's a blocker that you can actually swing with, and he restands at the end of the turn. The next member is Jace, second in command, also has unique, but this one has a little bit of draw power. When this card attacks, look at the top 3 cards at the top of your deck, add up to 1 Ginyu Force card from one of them to your hand, then place the remaining cards on top and or bottom of the deck in any order. So this doesn't have a restriction, it adds any of the Ginyu Force no matter what their energy is, no matter what color it is. And finally, we have Raccoon, the Musclehead, also has unique. If your leader card is a Ginyu Force card, when this card is played, choose up to 1 green Ginyu Force with an energy cost of 2 in your hand and play it. Really neat. You swing with your leader, play this card from the top of your deck. You swing with this guy. If it hits, typically you're going to play Raccoon from your deck, and then Raccoon lets you play any of these 3 guys right here from your hand, and now you already have 3 cards. You already have three cards on the board. You just need 1 more to awaken. That's really helpful. Finally, we're going to take a look at 2 more Ginyu Force cards. First and foremost is Ginyu Backbone of the Force, activate main. If you have at least 1 Raccoon, Jace, Birder, and Goldo card in play, play this card from your hand and you can't play copies of this card for the turn. You can play him for free if you have all 4 of the members, or if you have 1 of these on board, which is why, like I mentioned before, this card is really, really helpful. His second auto is when this card is played, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards and gain control of it. If you gain control of a card, give control of this card to your opponent. Really, really nice. Your opponent might play something really good and you don't have a way to get rid of it. This is one of those ways that you can get rid of it. Now, you're not just removing it from the board, you actually get a chance to use that card, and that's why it's really, really helpful. And your opponent is stuck with a card with a lot of energy, but hardly any power. Now, they can swing with it, they can combo with it, they can do things with it. And if you're playing against green that has a Celzino in the deck, that might not be the smartest move, but it is very helpful to remove certain things from your opponent's side of the board. Finally, the last Ginyu Force card we're going to play is called Ginyu the Body Snatcher. Has inherent double strike. His permanent does suck a little bit though. This card gets minus 10k power during your opponent's turn. In his activate main, choose 1 battle card you gain control of from your opponent with 1 of your card's skill and place it in its owner's drop area. Play this card from your hand. Essentially, you play this card for free as long as you have the Ginyu Force cards on board. You swap with a card on your opponent's side of the field. Then you kill that card so that you can play this guy. When he is played, if your leader card is a green Ginyu Force card, you choose all green Ginyu Force cards in your battle area and they get plus 10k power for the turn. That includes himself and any other Ginyu Force cards that you have on board. So potentially it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards on board with 10k power. An extra 10k power. So 25, 25, 25, 25, 25, and 30k double strike, which is really, really good. Next, we're going to move on to the 2 Unisons that I chose to play. We're going to play SS Vegito Peerless Warrior. His auto, once per turn, when you activate a Union skill, draw 1 card. You're not going to use that. You don't have Union. You do use his +2 or his -7. Really, really good. What this card right here allows you to actually swing with Goldo and hopefully keep him on board a little bit longer. His activate main is you give it 2 markers and choose all of your mono green battle cards and then gain revenge until the start of your next turn. Revenge basically means that if your opponent swings at your battle cards with their battle cards, the card that they attacked with automatically dies. Doesn't matter whether they kill your battle card or not. A really nice move. It's a really good thing that goes over barrier. I think the only thing you can't get rid of are permanents that keep those cards on board, or anything that has indestructible or something like that. His -7 is a bit of a finisher, which is really helpful. You can activate this as soon as turn, I think it's turn 3, 4. His -7, if your leader card is a mono green, look at your opponent's life, place 1 card from among them into the drop area, then your opponent shuffles their life and then chooses 3 cards in their hand and discards it. Hopefully you do that at the end because you have a crazy amount of pressure, you're just swinging a whole bunch, and hopefully you can just whittle your opponent down to 1 life and then activate this ability. The last Unison that I chose to go with was Vegeta Resolute Agent of Destruction. It's just, I personally think that it's a really, really good card. It wipes board, it gets rid of things that you might be struggling to get rid of with anything else because it has barrier or something like that, and this guy does that for you. So he has inherent double strike and critical, which is really helpful. And your opponent, a lot of the times, they're going to activate their negates on this card, so that way they don't have to lose their life or not get any value. His auto, choose 1 card from your hand and discard it. When this card is played, choose all of your opponent's battle cards, ignore barrier, and KO them. I don't think this is optional. I think this is something that you have to do. His +1, this card gives 5k power for the turn. And typically I don't use that ability. I typically wait till turn 5 to play this card, blow up my opponent's board, swing at his Unison or swing at his leader so that he doesn't get value, and then I'm -5. If your leader card is an evil wizard, which it isn't, or all of your energy is mono green, which it will be, choose 3 cards in your opponent's hand and discard them. And it's really, really helpful for game finishers or near the end, or just to get rid of cards in your opponent's hand, something that you may not be able to do. We're going to play a super combo, pretty generic. If your life is at 4 or less, take 1 card in your hand, put it on the bottom of the deck, draw 2 cards, and it gains 10k power for the turn. Really, really helpful. And we went with Shocking Death Ball as a Sparking 5 regular negate. It also kills a card on your opponent's side of the board that has 2 or less power. Sorry, not power, 2 or less energy cost. And then we're going to run 8 cards that make the deck, or make green really, really good. right now. One of our negates or counter attacks is Dormant Potential Unleash. Pretty expensive card, working on trying to get this. If your leader card is mono green, choose any number of your opponent's battle cards and that add up to a total energy cost of 2 or less and KO them. Additionally, you may choose one green card in your hand and discard it. If you do, your opponent can only attack once more this turn. Permanent is really nice. If you have a green Unison card in play, you can activate this card's counter skill from your hand without paying energy cost, which is really helpful, really efficient, especially if you tapped out. So you can activate this as early as turn 2. Some people like to play I think is the Demigra Unison that's green, so you can activate this as early as turn 1. Personally don't think you need to, and not in this deck specifically, unless you're getting aggroed, then yeah, you want to swap a Unison out and play the other. And then you're going to play the Frieza Charismatic Villain, counterplay. When you have a green Unison card with 2 or more markers on play, you can activate this card's counter skill from your hand without paying energy cost. When this card is played, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 7 or less and KO it. So it's a really good counterplay. You don't play any more counterplays besides this one, but this one I think it's just really good. Finally, we're going to take a look at a little bit of tech that I decided to go with. My opponent or whoever you're playing against is going to play Unisons more oftentimes than not, and they're going to run cards like Dormant Potential Unleash or Frieza Charismatic Villain, things that they can be playing for free as long as they have a Unison with 2 or more markers on board. So what you can do is just swing at your opponent a lot. Since you have a lot of cards on board, just swing at their Unison, bring their Unison down to a couple of markers, and then play this card on turn 4. So it has Deflect and Triple Strike, which I think is ridiculous. It also has a Servant skill. So that's the only weakness to this card, I think. It's going to be protected, so no counterplays are going to hit it. So it's more than likely is going to stick the board. There are only a few counterplays that can actually get rid of it. But it's really helpful. The downside, like I said, is Servant, that I won't be able to restand, but it does gain that 10k power, so this is a 30k triple strike. If your leader card is mono green, when this card is played, choose up to one of your opponent's Unison and remove 3 markers from it, which is really good. Finally, the SCR for the deck. The best one you can play is obviously Xeno, of course. But personally and realistically, I can't afford that card right now. So I'm just going to play something that I can afford. If you're playing green or yellow, play Xeno if you got it. If you have Xeno and you're playing a green or yellow deck and you're not playing Xeno, please give it to me. I'll send you my address. I would love for you to send that to me. But for now, what I'm playing with is Dragon Ball's Negative Energy Overflow. The reason I bought this card, first and foremost, is because it's an affordable secret, I think, personally, and you can run it in pretty much every deck. Its permanent is reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 1 for each battle card in your drop area. So you just got to get 7 battle cards in your drop area, and this guy is free. His activate battle at the end of the turn, choose all battle cards in your own barrier and place them in your owner's drop area. So you activate this at the end when your opponent swings with his last battle card, or if your opponent has flooded the field and he just swings, you just activate it and you're going to just blow up their board. If your opponent only has 1 card on board, he swings with it, you activate battle, and now it kind of like deters your opponent from playing more battle cards, and this is the card that you can go with, which is really helpful. Thank you guys so much again for taking a look at this deck profile. Like I said before, this is the mono green variant. I also have a green yellow variant that I play. If you guys would like to take a look at that, let us know down in the comments. Finally, if there's anything you would do differently, anything that you would change, or anything that you think would be better, or something that you might want to take out or swap out, let me know down in the comments. My goal is to get better by helping each other out. Again, I really appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. We're praying for you guys always. Bye.